around North Tulsa last night, randomly shooting people who were walking or in their yards.
You're watching the most shocking and informative LRJ TV News.
All these shootings took place within 7 hours, and the victims, they range in age from 29 to 50. Police say they are looking for a white man seen driving an older white truck in the area of these shootings. The first 911 call came in at 1:03 a.m. on East 51st Place North. A man heard a shot, ran outside, and saw a 40-year-old woman lying in the street. She had been shot and was unable to talk. She later died at the hospital. Just 3 minutes later, right across Peoria, 2 men were shot in their yard. Their injuries were not life-threatening and they survived. They're the only ones. 45 minutes after that, on 63rd Street North, police got another call for help. This time, a man was lying in the street. He, too, had been shot and did not survive. Then a few hours later, once it became light out, someone noticed a man in the parking lot of Jack's Memorial Chapel at 36th Street North. He, too, had been shot and was dead.
In Tulsa, we don't have 3 dead bodies in one day spread out like we have here in one general geographical area, but yet far enough apart where obviously somebody's mobile.
Police say they have very little to go on, and they are asking for help from the public, anyone who saw anything or heard anything around the time of the shootings.
This is terrifying.
Heather lives on the street where one of the men was killed. She didn't know anything about it until her mother called her. She says the street is normally quiet.
No problems. We got a minister on one end, and I mean, good, hardworking people in this area.
Heather has 1 child in college and 2 still at home, and the idea of someone picking off innocent people with no warning has her on edge.
That is scary if they're randomly running around, because they can do it at any time.
This manhunt taking place in Oklahoma. Police are looking for a lone gunman in Tulsa. 3 people were shot and killed and 2 injured. Investigators say it could be a hate crime. All the victims are African American and the suspected shooter is white. Tulsa Police Captain Jonathan Brooks is on the phone now from Tulsa. So Captain Brooks, give me an idea how you're concentrating this search.
Good morning, Fred. Well, it's been a long 30 hours for us. A shooting of this nature is a little unusual for Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have organized several agencies have become involved. We have a lot of officers dedicated to this. We've formed a task force for the specific series of crimes because these crimes occurred in a relatively short period of time and in a close geographical location as well. So with those things in combination, that's what's so alarming to us. And on the heels of everything else, we just need to make sure this is quickly addressed and resolved.
Okay, so you said this taking place in a close geographical location. So now tell me about the circumstances of the shooting. Are you saying all of the shooting victims were shot in different locations, different circumstances? What led up to them?
Yes, they were all shot in different locations. We're not absolutely sure about the circumstances as of right now, but the one thing that we do know for certain is in one of the scenes in which the victim survived, he is able to give us a little bit of information about what transpired, and the shooter drove up to where he was at his residence. They were outside and asked a question about directions, and at that point, for just no apparent reason, the suspect took out a handgun and shot him and his friend there. Fortunately, on this time, both of those, although they're in critical condition, they did survive.
Okay, over what period of time did these shootings take place?
Well, just a few minutes after 1 a.m. is when we received our first call for the first shooting. And then 3 minutes later, we had 2 more shootings in which the 2 survived. Then in approximately about 40 minutes, we received another call of the shooting. Now, it wasn't for several more hours. At a few minutes after 8 o'clock, we received another call of another shooting victim. But the investigations revealed to us, though, that shooting did take place closer to the 1 to 2 o'clock time. And due to his location, we just didn't receive a 911 call, and there were no witnesses to that particular shooting.
So we saw a few different things. We saw Google Earth kind of locations showing the variation, the distance between some of these locations, and we've also seen some video. So most of these shootings, did they take place in residences involving pedestrians, people, as drivers, what?
Yes, it appears that all the victims were just out walking or out in the yard. at this hour. And this is a residential neighborhood, predominantly single-family dwellings, in that area, except for the last victim. He was found at a business.
While you were sleeping, Oklahoma police, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals were very busy, and that hard work paid off with 2 arrests. That word coming less than an hour ago to us right here. A reminder, 3 people were killed and 2 were injured in a series of shootings early Friday. Joining me now on the phone is Captain Jonathan Brooks from the Tulsa Police Department. Captain Brooks, good morning to you. What can you tell us about the arrests? You've had a very busy night. How'd you track these guys down?
Yes, it has been a very busy night. It took a lot of work, a lot of collaboration between several different agencies, and quite frankly, a lot of help from the community helped us and solve this crime.
And who do you have in custody?
We have 2 subjects in custody right now. We have Alvin Watts, a 32-year-old white male, and Jake England, a 19-year-old white male, that are now in our custody.
And what led them to you? How were you able to get them?
Well, it was through the work and the investigation of our detectives and agents and deputies, and through the tip line that we set up and the tips that the community provided to us, and the information that was provided to us, all come into collaboration and led us to the successful arrest of these 2 individuals.
And have you also recovered the white pickup truck, which was seen at 3 of the 4 shooting sites?
Yes, we've recovered the truck, and now we're in the process of recovering additional evidence that was used in these crimes.
And are the suspects talking? Have they made any statement at all?
Actually, they're in the right now. They're still being interviewed by our detectives.
Have they said anything yet that you can share with us?
Nothing I can share at this point in time.
And where were they arrested?
They were arrested in Tulsa from a single-family dwelling.
Were they living together, or were they in the same place when they were arrested?
Yes, they were in the same place, and we're not exactly sure of what their relationship is to one another, whether they're just friends or extended family members. Those are just some of the things that we're trying to get out of the investigation, as well as, quite frankly, is the real thing is we want to know is the motive.
Right. And what about weapons? Were you able to recover any weapons?
We're in the process of now that we've apprehended the suspects, now we're into the evidence recovery mode.
What does
Our primary goal is, as our chief said, as we're coming for you, we've done that, and now we'll gather the evidence along that trail.
Can you tell us, though, at this hour, if any guns have been recovered?
No, we have not recovered any guns at this very moment.
And do we know if both of them were in the pickup truck as these shootings took place? Have you been able to determine that yet?
That's where the investigation has led us to believe that both of them were in the truck at the same time.
And do you know if any of them knew any of the victims?
We don't know that.
And so the status of them right now is that they're being interviewed right now. They're in the interrogation room. How long will something like that take, and when do you think you might have some more answers?
Each one is different, so it could be rather lengthy. But we felt that it was important for us to get the word out early to the community for when the citizens wake up of Tulsa, wake up this Easter Sunday morning, and know that Tulsa is just a little bit safer place, that we've removed these 2 individuals from the community